SmackDown has a major problem. We are live, man. SmackDown has a major problem, man. It's literally the same show every single week with the same people every single week. They refuse to push anybody new at all on the show. I feel like they're not utilizing at least 70% of the roster, man. WWE teased, and I mean teased heavily tonight, that they may be bringing back the King of the Ring. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go over exactly how the King of the Ring should be. Roman Reigns enlists Jimmy Uso and not Jey Uso to fight his battles tonight as Jimmy takes on Cesaro before Backlash on Sunday, which I'm sure most of you didn't even realize was happening this weekend. And rest in peace to the OG, the original gangsta, New Jack. We will talk about him as well tonight on the only post show you need. This is the SmackDown post show right here on Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your SmackDown post show for May 14th, 2021. I am your host, JD from New York. Welcome to the OTS venue. We got a lot to go over tonight, folks. We got news on potential King of the Ring 2021 and WWE bringing back what is my favorite tournament of any given year when it does happen, if it does happen correctly. And they teased a lot about the King of the Ring tonight in a match between King Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura. So we will go over that tonight as well. And we will go over why I think, A, it needs to be back, should be back every year, and B, why WWE needs to do tournaments more regularly, more frequently, and how it needs to be instituted on the main roster. So we're going to go over that, man. When you're talking tournaments, you're talking my cup of coffee. When you're talking tournaments, you're talking my cup of tea. I love coffee and tea, coffee more than tea. When you are talking tournaments, you are talking my type of cold beverage, man. I love tournaments. We're going to go over that tonight, as well as Aleister Black. I got news on Aleister Black. Rumors are circulating that Aleister Black may be moved to Monday Night Raw. Get this, to freshen things up on Monday night. Folks, Monday Night Raw needs just a little bit more than just a freshening up. They need a complete gutting and they need a complete revamp. Moving Aleister Black over to Monday Night Raw does not do a single goddamn fucking thing on Monday night. In fact, it's actually going to be worse for Mr. Black. We'll briefly talk about his wife as well. She may be on her way back to the WWE. Why? I don't know. But my antennas are going off. They're up and they're buzzing about why she may be back in the WWE. And we're going to talk about New Jack. In fact, we're going to start New Jack off tonight on the podcast, man. We're going to talk about New Jack. News broke before SmackDown went live on Fox tonight. ECW star and someone who was highlighted last season on Dark Side of the Ring, ECW star New Jack passed away earlier this evening. He was 58 years old. PW Insiders reporting that he passed away earlier today in North Carolina. The news broke via Young's wife, Jennifer. His real name, Jerome Young. New Jack was one of the most controversial and absolutely crazed lunatics ever in all of pro wrestling. He was a major part of the ECW era in the 90s. His intensity and his just sheer brutality were unmatched, unpredictable. His style, nobody really ever came close to being what New Jack was in that specific genre of wrestling, if you want to call it wrestling. And he would oftentimes introduce weapons of all sorts to his opponents. Cheese graters, you name it, syringes. If you could think of it, New Jack probably used it in a match. New Jack got his big break in the wrestling business in Jim Cornette's Smoky Mountain Wrestling as a part of the Gangsters tag team with Mustafa Saeed. When the team made the jump to ECW, they became one of the hottest acts in the company, and they were the first to wrestle matches while their theme song, Dr. Dre's Natural Born Killers, was playing over the loudspeakers, man. Oh, what a moment. Every time that shit went off, man, that crowd was berserk. Unreal. New Jack may be best remembered by fans for his promo skills and either that or diving off balconies somewhere or stabbing his opponents with sharp objects. His style eventually took a toll on his body, but he continued to wrestle on the independent scene up until his passing. New Jack's life story in and out of wrestling was chronicled on the second season of Dark Side of the Ring, which you guys could watch on demand if you do own Vice and a cable box. Our deepest condolences, thoughts, and prayers from everybody here in the OTS family to the family of Jerome Young, a.k.a. New Jack, who passed away at 58 years old. Now, some of you may be too young to realize who New Jack was. You may have been introduced to New Jack as early as last season on Dark Side of the Ring. New Jack, in my honest opinion, you know, you want to talk about somebody that's, or you want to talk about pro wrestlers in our lifetime that will never be duplicated. There will never be another one of who we grew up watching. There'll be conversations. There'll never be another Bret the Hitman Hart. There'll never be another Mr. Perfect. There'll never be another Undertaker. There'll never be another Brock Lesnar or The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin. Those are some legendary names, man. Those are Hall of Fame names. I'm going to put New Jack in that there'll never be another New Jack just aura. There'll never be another New Jack. Ever. There are people nowadays that do the deathmatch wrestling thing. Listen, man, it's not my cup of coffee. It's not. I don't even consider it wrestling, to be brutally honest with you. I mean, I just don't find it entertaining to watch two guys beat the shit out of each other. There's no story there. There's nothing, man. I'm so much more of an old school savant. I want story. I want meaning. I want importance. You know, this death match shit that you see all up and down the indies, even today, man, with Nick Gage and all these other guys coming along after him. He seems to be the new generation's New Jack. Nick Gage is a crazy son of a bitch, man. You would never catch me dead saying anything bad about that guy. That guy is fucking unhinged. There's things that he has done to himself that I cannot even imagine a human being, a normal human being, doing to himself, man. It is ridiculous. And that's what New Jack embodied. It's almost as if Nick Gage has the same DNA as New Jack. But the deathmatch thing, man, it's not my style. There's so much more to pro wrestling than picking up a box of light bulbs and trading light bulb shots back and forth, or stabbing each other with glass, or throwing each other off of fucking houses through boards of barbed wire, whatever the case may be, man. If it's been thought of, it's been done. It's been done in these deathmatch matches and on the deathmatch scene. But as far as New Jack goes, man, the presence of New Jack was just unrivaled in his time. I remember when I was in high school, it was freshman year, sophomore year of high school, we would all stand around outside before homeroom bell rang, and we would all stand there and we would all talk pro wrestling. It'd be either pro wrestling, music. We'd all go to our little groups. I had my little group of guys that we talked heavy metal with. Hey, did you hear the new Korn album? Did you hear the new Fear Factory album? Did you hear the new Metallica album? Megadeth, whatever the case may be. Then you got your wrestling group. Hey, man, did you see what happened on Nitro? No, man, I don't watch Nitro. I watch WWE. I watch Monday Night Raw when Raw was good. I was never a WCW guy. Then there'd be always one guy that used to come up. He used to dabble in the WWE. He used to dabble in the WCW talk. But he always talked about ECW. His name was Joe Aceto. Still remember him by name. I don't even know if he's around anymore, to be perfectly honest with you. The last time I seen him had to be fucking 2 decades ago. He was working as a plumber. But he used to come around, and he always used to sell bootleg VHS tapes of ECW. Whether it was ECW's TV show or an ECW pay-per-view, he'd sell you bootleg tapes. I got this tape, give me $10, I'll get you whatever you want. Heat Wave, Barely Legal, whatever the case may be. I bought so much ECW VHS off this kid, and I loved every minute of it. I used to go home, I put it in the VCR in my bedroom, and I used to watch. My mom never used to let us watch ECW back in the day when it was on TV. It used to come on very late at night. We were never allowed to stay up that late. But I was always interested in what ECW was bringing to the table, you know? I remember the RVDs and the Sabus and the Sandmans and Taz, obviously, Jerry Lynn, Shane Douglas, just incredible, Chris Candido, you name it, man. But those guys, they had an unbelievable roster. But one guy that always stood out, and me and my brother always found immense enjoyment in, was New Jack. Because of his brand of unpredictability. You know, we love the Dudleys for being unpredictable and fucking violent. You know, they could cut a promo cutting down fucking anybody in the crowd, and then the next minute they're putting somebody through a flaming fucking table. It was great. New Jack was the same way. He had his theme music playing. He beat the shit out of somebody, ungodly beating, and we enjoyed that shit, man. Crowd was like fucking throwing fuel on the fire. It was a sight to behold. And as a young high school kid, man, and you're watching that, and then you go and watch WCW Nitro, or you watch Monday Night Raw, what's the cooler of the promotions, man? New Jack jumping off a fucking balcony through 3 tables, taking a cheese grater to somebody, or watching Bob Holly on Monday Night Raw, you know? It was unreal. New Jack was one of the very reasons why all of us fell in love with ECW, man. He was You know, he was the embodiment of what ECW was, Extreme Championship Wrestling. There was nobody more extreme than New Jack. Everybody else obviously was extreme. There was a reason why they were there. But New Jack, the extreme in ECW, he was the heart and soul of ECW. He brought extreme to the next level. He was more extreme than Extreme Championship Wrestling was. Sad to see that he passed away, man. 58 years old. There's no cause of death right now. There's no news on anything New Jack about why or how he passed away. Hopefully we'll find out in the days to come. And if I hear anything, I will obviously let you guys know on a future episode of Off the Script. But rest in peace to New Jack, Jerome Young, 58 years old. Thoughts and prayers from everybody here in the OTS venue, from the OTS family to our family, from our family to his family. I appreciate you guys joining me here on the podcast tonight, man. We are looking at 1,200 in the venue right now. I appreciate you all stopping by on your Friday night, man. Hit that thumbs up. We got 308 likes in the live stream chat right now. Let's try for at least a goal of 750. So make sure you guys go and do that. That really helps out the podcast. That helps out the channel. So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. While you're at it, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Jesse just texted me, heart attack. Heart attack is the cause of death. I did not see that there. So that is what we got going right now. As far as New Jack goes, like I said, I'll keep you guys posted. But make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well. If you guys want more of Off the Script, we will be here tomorrow as well, 5 p.m., episode 376. We got major news on a lot of different things. Major news on the Elite. That's Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. Apparently, there was a report today. Get this shit. There was a report today that the heat between all of the vice presidents of AEW, it is keeping a major name from signing with AEW. And reportedly, the major name is a major difference maker. How many of those people are still out there as far as being free agent and being a difference maker for AEW? There's only two names I could think of, folks. There's only two names I can think of. We're going to talk about that tomorrow on Off the Script, episode 376. Make sure you guys tune into that. Hit that subscribe button if you want more. And I will be back live on Sunday night. We got WWE Backlash. Oh, I'm sorry. WrestleMania Backlash. That's not really WrestleMania, but Backlash live stream Sunday night. If you guys want to check in on that, I would really appreciate it as well. We will be live going over everything that happens on the show. We got a Universal Championship match between Cesaro and Roman Reigns. I give Cesaro negative 100% chance of winning that match. We also have Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. Triple threat match for the WWE Championship. Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley versus Asuka, Raw Women's Championship. Triple threat match. And then we got Bayley versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Also the Mysterios. Rey and Dominic Mysterio will go after Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, the Dirty Dogs, for the Tag Team Championships. Anything else on that show, I don't know what's happening. Seems like there's only 5 matches or so booked for the show. Who knows what they may add in the hours to come before the show. But if you guys want my opinion on it, I will be live hanging out right here on YouTube Sunday night after the show goes off the air. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That is Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you guys do that. Thank you for live tweeting with me tonight on the socials. If you guys want to support the podcast, we have a couple of ways to do that. Number one, and Jesse in the chat says, negative 100% is being way too generous. Anything less than 0, Jesse. Anything less than 0. If you guys want to support the podcast, several ways to do that. Patreon.com/JDfromNY206. I appreciate all the patrons over there. Every single month, we got some cool shit over there for you guys to pick up exclusively only on Patreon. If you guys want your t-shirts, bonfire.com. Bonfire is the home of Off the Script. Links are down below in the description for that. And tonight's show is brought to you by Dr. Squatch, sponsored by Dr. Squatch. That is drsquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout. You guys are going to save 20. That is a whopping 20% off everything you order from Dr. Squatch. And as always, if you want to check out all the other videos on the channel, we got the Monday Night Raw live stream, the NXT live stream, the AEW live stream, all up right now. So you guys are definitely with a lot of content to catch up on if you did not check any of those out earlier in the week. Let's start at the top, guys. SmackDown opened up with Jey Uso. He was in the ring to start SmackDown all by himself. He said they call him right-hand man. Main event, Jey Uso. Said last week his brother Jimmy disrespected the head of the table, their cousin, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Said this week he left them no choice but to handle some family business. He then introduced Roman Reigns, who will defeat Cesaro this Sunday at Backlash in defense of the Universal Championship. So Reigns and Paul Heyman walked to the stage. Heyman handed Reigns the Universal title. Reigns lifted it in the air. Then he handed it back to Heyman, who caressed it and hugged it very tightly as he walked to the ring and walked into the ring with Roman. So the audience, I can't wait for live audiences, man. These "you suck" chants for Roman are so cringe. It is ridiculous. The fake piped in "you suck" chants. I can't wait for live fans to be back in WWE, which is supposedly happening in July. They're going back on tour in July. Find it funny being that AEW just announced that they're going back in front of live audiences away from Daly's Place starting July 7th. AEW effect. I thought WWE was going to hold out till SummerSlam. But they want to get back out there because AEW. Don't let anybody else fool you, man. So, Roman Reigns is in there. He said he would get to Jimmy Uso in a minute, but he wants to address Cesaro first, which is good, because he's got a title match on Sunday night for the Universal Championship. This is good that we're mentioning Cesaro first, because last week I ranted that I feel like the Universal Championship match and Cesaro are kind of an afterthought, even though Cesaro stood tall in taking down all three men last week to close SmackDown. I felt like the Uso story with Roman was overtaking the story of the Universal Championship, which right now, Roman Reigns and Cesaro really don't have a story. If you could tell me what the story is for Cesaro and Roman Reigns, I'd love for somebody to tell me what the story is for Cesaro and Roman Reigns. Here's the spoiler, folks. There is none. There is no story for Roman Reigns and Cesaro. The only story is WWE is giving us, out of the kindness of their heart, out of their generous souls, they're giving us Cesaro versus Roman Reigns because we all want this for Cesaro. And they feel like there doesn't need to be a story because Cesaro's going to go in there and kill it with Roman Reigns anyway and deliver a great match, and that's all we want is a great match. The geeks and the marks on social media, the casual fans, they'll be happy with just a great match. That's all they want. They feel like they don't have to write a story for Cesaro and Roman Reigns. Now, the story could come after the fact as we move on into the summer because it may last a month or two between Roman Reigns and Cesaro. We don't know yet. But Cesaro needs to be given just a little bit more of the attention in this storyline, because he is the number one contender for the Universal Championship. And if you're in a match with Roman Reigns, you should be an important entity to everything that's going on. So the audience chanted, "You suck." And he said he would get to Jimmy in a second. He wants to concentrate on Cesaro. He says he likes Cesaro, just like a lot of the boys in the back like Cesaro. He respects him as a top-tier talent. He said he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. And Heyman said, yeah, one of the best in the background. Heyman in the background just snide and very weaselly with his replies. I love it. Paul Heyman in this role. Paul Heyman is one of the best promos in the history of pro wrestling. We all know that. Paul Heyman with Brock Lesnar was just amazing. And it will be just as amazing when Lesnar comes back for whatever type of run he comes back for. But this Paul Heyman with Roman Reigns is more of a pairing that I think is better than Paul Heyman with Brock Lesnar. It gives Paul Heyman the opportunity to play a different role. See, when Paul Heyman was with Brock Lesnar, he was always up front and center because Brock Lesnar was the silent fucking just murderer. He didn't have to talk. All the talking he did in the ring. And he beat opponents left and right. That's the type of relationship that they had. Brock Lesnar could cut a promo if he wants to. He doesn't have to cut the best promo of all time, but when Brock Lesnar actually does cut a promo for himself, you know you're in some deep fucking shit. When he picks up a microphone, you know that you are in some deep fucking shit when Brock Lesnar gets a word in. But with Paul Heyman, he did all the talking there, so he had to be a little bit more serious and less jovial and less kind of weaselly. He was still a weasel, but he's not as much as a weasel as he is here. In this role with Roman Reigns says something, and then he looks for Paul Heyman's approval, and Roman Reigns is just standing there smiling, waiting for Paul Heyman to give the correct answer. Yeah, he's one of the best wrestlers, but he's not the best wrestler, you know? And then he made a mention of something about Cesaro getting a first ever opportunity at the Universal Championship, and he made mention of something along the line of Roman Reigns having 39 championship matches or something along that, something in that vicinity. And he was just snickering with these comments back and forth. It's great. All while holding and hugging the Universal Championship. Just a great thing to see, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. So Reigns says he's much more than a wrestler. Paul Heyman says, yeah, you're the head of the table. And then Roman Reigns is just standing there, waiting for Paul Heyman to just give every answer possible. Head of the table. You're the tribal chief. You're the universal champion. You're the greatest of all time. He was just looking for all these forms of acceptance from Paul Heyman. Awesome. He says he's the head of the table and Cesaro cannot fill those shoes. He wondered if WWE executives would want Cesaro in his place. Do you really think Fox wants that? I don't know. Not over Roman, I'll tell you that. It makes me wonder why Fox wants any of this fucking show outside Roman Reigns. It's awful. It is awful. SmackDown has a major fucking problem, man. We'll get into that in a second. Do we really think Fox wants that? He asked, how many world title runs has Cesaro had? Heyman then said, 0. More snide comments from the backseat driver, Paul Heyman. And rightfully so, he said. Reigns continued. Jimmy Uso all of a sudden comes out and interrupts the tribal chief. Roman Reigns looked pissed. Jimmy entered the ring and said, all he can hear is the tribal chief running his mouth as his brother stands next to him, acting like his bitch. Jimmy Uso, by the way, came out with a t-shirt that said, in big white letters, nobody's bitch. He did. He's nobody's bitch, Jimmy Uso. He said he has a t-shirt ready for him in the back when he's ready. Nobody's bitch. Says he's not sure he'll be champion after Sunday. Jay said that's the head of the table. What are you talking about? That's the tribal chief. That's family. That's your cousin. That's who you're talking about. Reigns told Jimmy he's done so much for their family. Jimmy says he's part of the family, but he's not all of it. Reigns then asked Jimmy Uso if he feels he could beat Cesaro. Jimmy says he doesn't think that Roman could beat Cesaro, but he knows he could beat Cesaro. Reigns asked, you think you could fill my shoes? Jimmy said no, but together, he and Jay can. He said if Reigns loses this Universal Championship to Cesaro on Sunday and they win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, that would make them the heads of the table. Reigns got obviously upset at this and said, that's not how it works. That's not who you are. That's not your position. He said he is the 5-time WrestleMania main eventer who puts food on the family's table. I am the face of this company with a responsibility you could never handle. Reigns then started to laugh. Do you really think you could do what I do and be the man around here? Do it. Do what I do. Represent like I represent. Then he told him to show the whole world tonight. SmackDown is yours tonight. If you could beat Cesaro, show the world. Can you beat him? Jimmy smiled, nodded, and said, yes. He called out Cesaro. What you gonna say, Oos? Cesaro comes out. He's wearing a nice suit. He accepted the challenge. He told Roman he's going to beat Jimmy tonight. And on Sunday, he's going to beat him for the Universal Championship. I made mention last week that I wanted more Cesaro and more story for Cesaro. I'm not going to shit on it yet. But at first glance, it seems like WWE is taking the Roman Reigns family drama with the Usos and placing it above the Cesaro priority, which is fine. I just hope WWE has more plans in store for Cesaro after Sunday against Roman. A one-and-done match isn't going to do it. It's not going to really do it as far as Cesaro goes. I think he deserves a little bit more. And quite frankly, SmackDown doesn't have anybody else after Cesaro to even challenge for Roman Reigns in the Universal Championship. I would rather another couple of months of Cesaro than Seth Rollins, who we did not see on this show tonight. I do not want Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns in a title program on SmackDown. I just don't. We've seen it so many times before, and I just don't want to see it again. I don't want to hear about the Shield again. I don't want to hear about any of their pasts again. In fact, I do think that it may do harm to Roman Reigns because Seth Rollins really isn't embraced as a heel, quote unquote, like Roman Reigns is. Rollins is great, but I don't think fans are attracted to Rollins in the way that we should be as far as a wrestling character goes on TV. I think the hatred for Rollins is real. And I don't mean in the pro wrestling sense. I do think that people are fucking annoyed at Rollins for all the stupid shit that he did, because the fans don't forget. And you're going to put him against Roman, you may actually turn Roman babyface. And if you're touring with live audiences as soon as July, I absolutely do not want Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. You do not want people cheering Roman Reigns for any reason at all. Seth Rollins, I am afraid, will do that. So stay away from it. Cesaro versus Roman could easily generate 3 months of television if you book it correctly. Paul Heyman could probably write this storyline blindfolded and make it mean something. It doesn't matter. That's what I hope happens here. Now, I mentioned last week, more Cesaro story, less of the Uso family drama with Roman Reigns. I'm looking at it a little bit differently this week. SmackDown has a major problem. It's the same shit every single week, every single month with Roman Reigns. I'm even feeling it. I know you guys know it. I'm feeling it. Even though I love Roman's new character and I love the head of the table, tribal chief gimmick, I know there's an issue. Every single pay-per-view match, it's Roman versus somebody, and then he sends Jey Uso after them, and we get rematch after rematch after rematch, stipulations. If this guy could beat Jey, then he gets to Roman. If he beats Jey, then he gets this stipulation, yada, yada, yada. Now we're doing it with Jimmy. Now we're doing it with Jimmy against whoever Roman Reigns is wrestling at said pay-per-view. It's very boring. It's almost as if WWE doesn't know how to creatively write for Roman Reigns anymore. It's the same shit. It's not creative at all. So why are we going back to the same old song and dance, the same old formulaic shit with Roman Reigns? Is it making him a better heel? I don't think so. Where Roman Reigns shines is when he cuts a promo. Where Roman Reigns shines, he shines in the ring when he's telling a story against whoever he's wrestling in defense of that Universal Championship. Roman Reigns is not enhanced by Jey Uso or Jimmy Uso. He's well past that now. But I will take a step back and I will say that Jimmy being involved in tonight's match against Cesaro is a little bit more acceptable to me. It's a little bit more of an acceptable twist. Yeah, we've seen Jay over and over and over again against everybody. Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, Cesaro. Doesn't matter. But with Jimmy Uso now being involved, it definitely makes things a lot more interesting. I'm looking at it as a proverbial reset for the Usos. I really do see that. Because at the end of the day, the Usos have not been the Usos in well over a year. Jey Uso was back without his brother on television because he got hurt almost immediately. Jey Uso was there all by himself. What were you going to do? You needed to do a complete reset with Jey Uso and let him run singles until his brother got back healthy. Now Jimmy is back, and we are seeing Jimmy in that role that Jey was in, and this time it's Jimmy needing to fall in line. Jimmy's going to learn the hard way. There's no way you are going against Roman Reigns. You will fall in line, you will obey, you will acknowledge him. This is going to bring the Usos back together because it's needed. Roman Reigns doesn't need Jimmy to acknowledge him, but Jimmy needs to understand that Jey needs him. There's no way that these two are going to exist without each other. This is all for the Usos being restart as a tag team. And the way that they're doing that is the same way that Jey got involved with Roman. He's got to acknowledge. After that is done and those words and that action is expressed on television, the Usos are winning the tag team championships. And then we're going to have a real Roman Empire. We're really going to have a Roman fucking bloodline here. Roman's going to be the Universal Champion. The Usos are going to be SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and that's where it's going to end up. I hope that WWE does book a little bit differently with Roman Reigns moving on into the future, where he doesn't use Jey or Jimmy to fight his battles anymore, because when they reach that goal and they reach that level of Tag Team Champions, they are going to be on the same level as Roman. So you can't be using them the way that you're using them now. This is all growing pains. This is all to get Jey and Jimmy together and for Jimmy to fall in line. I'm okay with that. Cesaro, on the other hand, yeah, I want more of a story, but I'm hoping WWE does right for Cesaro in the months to come. I don't see Roman moving on to somebody else immediately after he beats Cesaro on Sunday night. I think there'll be a fuck finish of sorts where Roman Reigns does get Cesaro. Cesaro's outnumbered, and we get this happening again, and it's more focused on Cesaro and Roman as far as the story goes. But Roman is doing exactly what he needs to do against Cesaro. He respects Cesaro. He respects Cesaro like everybody else in the locker room respects Cesaro. But what has Cesaro done to really push Roman Reigns' buttons? What has Cesaro done to Roman Reigns as far as threatening him for the Universal Championship? Nothing. That's going to happen on Sunday. And I think after Sunday, Roman Reigns is going to look at Cesaro a little bit differently to a point where, you know, he's going to move away from the family drama. He's going to take care of it, but he's also going to keep an eye, a bigger eye, out on Cesaro. Roman Reigns acting like Cesaro doesn't mean much of anything right now is perfect for Roman Reigns' character because he's not a threat to Roman, nor should he be. He needs to prove himself to Roman in order for Roman to pay him more attention. That's what I want you guys to understand. It took me a little bit to figure out after last week. Seeing it this week, I'm like, he is brushing Cesaro off again, and rightfully so. But he's going to have a great match with Roman. And it's going to be a great match, maybe match of the night. And it's all going to fall into that exactly the way that I just said it. Jimmy and Jey Uso are going to be back together after all of this is over. There's no reason to break them up. And they're going to be the new tag team champions. Now, I do have spoilers on that, or news of what's going on with the Usos. Big plans for Jimmy and Jey Uso on SmackDown. WrestlingNews.co was told that the next several months are mapped out for Roman Reigns and Jimmy and Jey Uso. They will win the SmackDown Tag Team titles from a baby face team in the coming months. This would mean that Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode should lose the tag team championships to Dominic and Rey Mysterio. That is going to happen at Backlash. If it doesn't happen at Backlash, it may actually happen when WWE starts touring again, when they get fans in attendance again. That's a big deal. For Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio as a father-son pairing to win the tag team championships in front of fans is a big deal. They may actually hold off on that. There may be some fuck finish because Rey and Dominic have had Ziggler and Roode's numbers for a couple weeks now. So if it doesn't happen and it happens in a fuckery way on Sunday night, I could see it happening again. But this time in front of fans. So we'll see what happens there. But the Usos versus Dominic and Rey Mysterio, I could absolutely see being a SummerSlam Tag Team Championship match where the Usos take those tag team titles. So keep an eye out for that. Tommy Dreamer. Speaking of ECW, we talked about New Jack earlier. Tommy Dreamer was also the heart and soul of ECW back in the day. He's with Busted Open Radio. He's there with LaGreca and Bully Ray and Mark Henry. He talked about Cesaro. Says Cesaro will get a Daniel Bryan reaction if WWE actually pulls the trigger on him. So Dreamer gave a lot of praise to Cesaro this past week, stating that if he was running WWE, then he would have made Cesaro the face of the company a long time ago. Dreamer also believes that if WWE decides to pull the trigger on Cesaro, he will be getting reactions similar to Daniel Bryan. He says, and I quote, "If I'm running the WWE because of all the languages he speaks, I could make him the face of my company and have him do every press junket possible. But we're not touring internationally right now, but it's something that always is great to have in your back pocket. It's also great because you know no matter where he is on the card, you are going to get a top-rated, top-notch, real wrestling match. He will be the guy, and I will tell you why. Because you know we're wrestling fans, and it's like, how come they haven't given this guy the ball in forever?" He had a lot of positive talk when Vince McMahon had said on one of the shareholder meetings that he doesn't feel like Cesaro connects with the people because of the way he speaks. But that was just like the first. Are you kidding me? This guy has it. And I feel he will get that Daniel Bryan reaction if they ever decide to fully pull the trigger with him, just because fans love him. But if you think about why they love him because of his in-ring work. End quote. And WWE is giving us a Cesaro versus Roman Reigns match with no story going into it right now because of the in-ring work. We know we're not going to, or they know we're not going to complain about the story yet because there's no doubt about it. These guys are going to kill it on Sunday night. WWE is skating by with the interest of this match because Cesaro deserves it and because of the in-ring work that we're going to get on Sunday night. No doubt about it. Is he going to get Daniel Bryan reactions? No. Daniel Bryan reactions are Daniel Bryan reactions. That was a thing of beauty back in 2014, 2015. Nobody's ever going to get Daniel Bryan reactions again. Nobody had gotten Daniel Bryan reactions after that. Nobody. Daniel Bryan didn't even get Daniel Bryan reactions after all of that. Daniel Bryan got those reactions. It was the biggest reaction since the days of Austin and The Rock. And that is 100% factual information. That man was the face of WWE, whether anybody wanted to admit it or not, back in that time. When they were burying him and the authority was pushing him down and then he won the championships, we made that shit happen. WWE was forced to listen to us. They wanted Randy Orton versus Batista as the main event of WrestleMania. They knew better than to change that. Keep it the way it was? No way. They knew better to change that to Daniel Bryan. And it was epic. They did it. They didn't want to do it, but they did it. Cesaro is not going to get Daniel Bryan reactions. It's well beyond that. At this point right now, WWE doesn't even look at Cesaro as being a guy that they're going to continually push like a Daniel Bryan. Maybe I'm wrong, but as history shows, Cesaro has never been given the ball for one very specific reason. He's not the jewel of management's eye. He's a great wrestler, but he can't cut a promo the way that they want. He's got a great look, but whatever the case may be, they don't find him to be a top-level guy. He wrestles like a top-level guy, but he's not a top-level guy. The only reason why he's in this thing right now is because there really is nobody else on SmackDown. And after Cesaro, I wonder who that next person will be. Seth Rollins, I already said, I don't want to see it. Big E, he is nowhere, and I mean nowhere near ready. What WWE does with Roman Reigns, I have no idea, man. No idea. Tommy Dreamer's being very, very generous to Cesaro in that statement. Speaking of Daniel Bryan, just a little side note here. Ringside News asked about the possibility of Daniel Bryan's return. They were told it will never be hard to fit him back in where storylines are concerned. They were also told there is open communication, but no rush from either side to sign a deal. So at this point, Daniel Bryan is just likely enjoying home with his family, with his daughter, with his wife, getting some well-deserved time off. So SummerSlam is also a possible Daniel Bryan destination for his return. It will be in front of fans. WWE is looking at a couple of places right now, with Las Vegas being at the top of the list. Dave Meltzer also mentioned Madison Square Garden in New York City. We will have to see. But SummerSlam is going to be a big deal because it's going to be the second major pay-per-view this year where WWE will allow fans in attendance, and there may be full capacity this time around. So we'll see what happens with that. But Bryan and WWE still in ongoing talks. Adam Pearce was backstage. He's back on the show tonight. The match is official. We got Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax opening the show, in-ring action. They're defending the tag team championships against Natalya and Tamina Snuka. Now, I don't really care about any of these women. It is very difficult for me to care about any of these women at all. But Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, we all know that this shit needs to be in the past. Shayna needs to move on. She needs to be completely rebranded. She needs to be the NXT Shayna Baszler that we all loved. Nia Jax has held her down for far too long. She's been one of the biggest losers on WWE television. I don't know why they've drifted so far from the perfect booking that Shayna Baszler had in NXT. It's unreal to me. Then you got Natty and Tamina. They're not even a real team. They're basing their entire team on the legacies of their family. So I guess it works. But why am I going to care about Tamina when Tamina has been a non-factor on the women's roster for how long now? Natty is great. Natty's one of the best female wrestlers in the world. But I don't know how anybody could look at Natty and really care about what she's doing on WWE television when we haven't seen WWE care about Natty in fucking years. These tag team titles in the women's division are worthless. Absolutely worthless. Then you got Reginald out there. He's an embarrassment to the women's division. They feature him more than they do a Ruby Riott or a Liv Morgan or anybody else in that goddamn division. They book him in more women's matches than they do their own women. He's got more TV time than Carmella, and he was Carmella's fucking sommelier. It's unreal to me. Natty and Tamina win the tag team championships. Tamina captures her first WWE championship ever. This is her first WWE title. So, Reginald immediately jumped on the apron. Distracted Tamina. Jax took advantage, beat down Tamina. Referee kicked Reginald out from the ringside area. So, Jax protested about him being kicked out. Tamina attacked her at ringside. Jax fought back, gave Tamina a Samoan drop into the barricade. Baszler took advantage, attacked Natalya's leg in the ring while that was happening on the outside. Jax dropped an elbow drop on Natalya, which looked like it sucked because she dropped all of her weight right across Natalya's chest. Nia Jax is awful. So we got Shayna and Nia. They're isolating Natalya in their portion of the ring. Tamina was down due to the attack from Nia Jax into the barricade. Natalya was fighting back. Tamina got the hot tag. Tamina knocked down Baszler, scored a near fall. She climbed to the top rope. Baszler tried to cut her off. Jax tagged in, tried to give Tamina a super, and I mean superplex on Tamina off the top rope. Tamina fought back and knocked Jax down. Baszler tried to interfere. Natalya yanked her off the apron. She then gave Baszler a German suplex on the floor. Jax tried to climb back up. Natalya prevented her. Jax pulled Natalya into the ring, gave her a Samoan drop. Jax ended up on her back, which looked a little weird. It's almost as if the Samoan drop to Natalya took more out of Nia Jax than it did Natalya. Tamina flies off the top rope, hits a superfly splash, makes the cover. 1, 2, 3. Natalya and Tamina Snuka are your new women's tag team champions. Everybody on social media kept saying Natalya and Tamina made history. What history was made here tonight? The only thing that I want to be history is the team of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. This team needs to be history. Other than that, no history was made here, folks. Tamina, good for her, I guess. She wins her first WWE Tag Team Championship. Her first title in WWE, period. I don't know why it didn't happen at the pay-per-view. I don't know why it didn't happen at WrestleMania. Why are we having it happen here on a random edition of SmackDown on the go-home show before a D-level pay-per-view? If WWE wanted to make it feel special, it should have happened in front of fans at WrestleMania. Or on a bigger stage than just fucking SmackDown. But that's what they care, or how they care, about their women's division. They just don't. I got news on the women's division. Apparently, Mia Yim was supposed to debut last week. Apparently, Mia Yim was supposed to debut tonight. And clearly, we did not see Mia Yim on tonight's show. So where exactly is Mia Yim? She got moved over to SmackDown. Retribution is done on Monday Night Raw. Mia Yim and Shane Thorne got moved over to SmackDown. We haven't seen her at all yet. We don't know if she's going to be the old Mia Yim. We don't know if she's going to be Reckoning. We don't know. She's been posting pictures on social media of her regular self, so I'm assuming that she's going back to what she was in NXT and has been most of her career, Mia Yim. Ringside News first exclusively reported that Mia Yim's SmackDown debut was canceled last week. This was later confirmed by Dave Meltzer, who said WWE pushed her tentative debut to this week. Fightful Select also confirmed Ringside News and their report with giving some clarification as to what those plans that were canceled were. Mia Yim was supposed to start a feud with Carmella, but WWE changed those plans around. Mia Yim was originally set to start a feud with Carmella, but was cut for time, and WWE had to add in throwback content to fit last week's throwback episode of SmackDown. So I wonder what happened this week. Like I said, WWE has a major problem on SmackDown. They focus on the same people every single week, and nothing feels new. They've gotten way too comfortable with the same group, the same cast of characters. Roman, Jimmy, and Jay, they're going to be on every show. Whoever Roman's feuding with, in this case, Cesaro, he's going to be on every show. He's going to be a focus on the show. Next month, it could still be Cesaro. Going into SummerSlam, it's going to be somebody else with those same three guys. Where Cesaro fits in after that, I don't know. Then we got the tag team champions, Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. One week, we get Ziggler versus Dominic. The next week, we get Ziggler versus Mysterio. Maybe one week, we get Dominic versus Ziggler. Then Dominic versus Bobby Roode. While all the other tag teams, and I use that very loosely, there are none, sometimes may not be featured for weeks on end. Otis, Gable, the Prophets, whoever else they got in that division, they won't be featured. We got all these guys in the Intercontinental Championship title picture. You could make matches for them, have them get some wins. Said they just cut a fucking stupid 4-way promo. Then we got the women. It's always the same fucking women every single week. Bayley and Bianca. Nothing's been done with Bayley at all up until after WrestleMania. And even now, I don't even know what the feud is about in regards to Bianca Belair. It seems so forced. They're only doing it because they don't want to go right back to Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks being off TV is hurting the women's division. Bianca Belair hasn't done anything. Very uneventful reign so far. Like everybody with a fucking brain said she wasn't ready for the spot, and here we are. We gave her the fucking title just because everybody wanted to see someone else. And now we got that somebody else, and WWE is treating it as a non-factor. She hasn't done anything with that championship at all. Hasn't wrestled. Nothing's been done. There's no other women in that division featured except Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Now that they lost the tag team championships, now we got Tamina and Natty. I feel like SmackDown's not even using 70 to 75% of their roster. Where is everybody else? Why do these shows feel the same every single fucking week? You don't need to feature these guys every fucking week. Rotate. Have matches mean something. Nothing means anything on this show. Then you got guys sitting in the back that don't know what the fuck is going on with them. There's no creative plans for anything. When they're on TV, it doesn't mean anything because they've been off TV for so long. SmackDown has a major fucking problem with their show because they don't use talent. I know that they have 2 hours to fill, but that doesn't mean we got to do the same shit every single week. This show could be booked by any one of you in the chat. It is very easy to book. Very easy to book. And if you're going to go and do that, doesn't really make for the most creative show. I do have news on the King of the Ring that will freshen things up on SmackDown, as I will get into that a little bit later. But that is coming from Baron Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura, and what WWE really did in that match to really prompt everybody on social media to think, are they bringing back the King of the Ring? So we will see that in a little bit. Kayla Braxton interviewed Natalya and Tamina after the match. Natalya said, tonight, anybody who has a dream that they thought passed them by, please go and achieve that dream. Do what you can. Fight for it. She said she is so proud of Tamina. Tamina thanked Natalya for believing in her. Tamina thanked the WWE Universe and started crying genuinely. Now, I wish this promo meant the tag team titles were a little bit more important, but they aren't. They aren't. WWE has not done good by those tag team championships at all. And nobody cares. Nobody cared about Nia and Shayna. All they wanted was Shayna to be broken away and treated like Shayna fucking Baszler, the baddest bitch on that roster. Now they're on Natty and Tamina. Who gives a shit? Give me one reason why I should care about Natalya and Tamina. I don't. It's not like they're going to be giving me top-tier tag team matches. It's the same shit every week. Kayla Braxton interviewed Heyman backstage. He was startled by her approaching him. She asked if Jimmy and Jay win the tag team titles and Reigns loses his title, at which point Heyman interrupted, well, what's with these hypothetical questions that you're asking me? And said he knows that Reigns can and will defeat Cesaro at Backlash. Then he left the promo. Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz, they were in the ring together. Aziz stood on steel steps painted green with the Nigerian colors. And Crews said with Aziz's help, he has brought honor to their home country of Nigeria. He said he may be the Intercontinental Champion for life. I highly doubt that. He looked up at Aziz, who stood proudly. He presented him with the most distinguished medal, the Nigerian Medal of Honor. Big E appeared on the big screen and he said it's a sham of a ceremony. He said he still has to feel his power. Sami Zayn then interrupted and said Big E is always making a joke and mocking everything. Cruz took offense at Sami for interrupting him. He told him to calm down, calm down. Sami then went on to say that Apollo has his Intercontinental title. He said he should give him the opportunity to reclaim it. Kevin Owens then walked out. He got double teamed by Aziz and Apollo Crews. Big E then ran out. He helped Owens. Big E avoided Aziz and the attempt of a Nigerian nail. Sami attacked KO. Owens fired back with a stunner. Big E then gave KO a big ending. Aziz, after all this, pulled Crews to safety. So, I figured that this is where they were going. They got all four of these guys involved in this. And at this point in the show, I assumed that they were setting up an IC title fatal four-way at Backlash between Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Apollo Crews, and Big E for the IC title. I would not mind that at all. I think that'd be a very entertaining match. Then I got myself to think, do they want to add yet another multi-man match or another multi-person match to a pay-per-view that already has two triple threat matches for two major championships? I figured that would be the pay-per-view match, but WWE did not, at the end of the night, put this on the actual pay-per-view Sunday night. Dolph Ziggler versus Booyaka 619. Booyaka. Rey Mysterio with his son Dominic Mysterio on the outside. This was not that bad of a match. 7 minutes. Rey Mysterio gets the victory over Mr. Dolph Ziggler. Mysterio climbed to the top rope. Ziggler cut him off. Ziggler attempted a superplex. Mysterio held on. Mysterio knocked Ziggler down, hit a senton off the top, followed up with a kick to the face for a near fall. Ziggler avoided a 619, hit his famouser for a very, very close near fall. Mysterio attempted a second 619, but Ziggler countered with a super kick for a 2 count. Ziggler picked up Mysterio for a slam, but Mysterio countered into a small package for the 1, 2, 3 and the victory. So this gives Dominic and Rey Mysterio victories over Dolph Ziggler. Seems like even Dolph, when he's holding a championship, is still WWE's biggest loser. They lose those tag team championships on Sunday night. I think they go to Rey and Dominic Mysterio. Booyaka. In the back, Kayla Braxton interviewed Dominic and Rey Mysterio. This was not good. This was not good. Rey says he's ready to make history alongside his son Dominic on Sunday. Ziggler and Rude showed up. Ziggler said that they don't belong in this business. The Mysterio family doesn't belong in this business, says Dolph Ziggler. I can think of quite the few people that don't belong in this business. Leave Rey Mysterio out of it and his family. He called Dominic Baby Dom. Dominic said he can call him names, but come Sunday, they're going to call him Baby Champ. I don't know how much of a comeback that was, Dom, but it was a lame comeback. Rude yelled, "No, we're the champs." Whatever. They lose those titles on Sunday. Megan Morant. I'm sorry, folks. Megan Morant. So it's a typo. It's a typo, man. Don't kill the messenger, man. It's Siri's fault. Megan Morant interviewed Cesaro backstage. He was wearing his new t-shirt that says, "Back in the swing." Whee! Back in the swing. Said it means the world to him to compete for the Universal Championship. Said a lot of people thought he was crazy to have his dream to become a WWE superstar. He said he always had a voice in his head saying, "I think I can." Now you're really entering Braun Strowman territory. I think I can. I think I can. Whee! Says he tries to earn what Reigns feels he is entitled to. Said he isn't taking Jimmy lightly tonight, but he has to decide if he's content to be known as Reigns' cousin. Said he will earn the right to have the WWE Universe acknowledge him as the new Universal Champion. Cesaro cut a very good promo here, but WWE is not really painting him in a light where he's going to even be competitive for the Universal Championship. Like, they could do all the post-match attacks and have Cesaro stand tall all they want. Cesaro is not winning the Universal Championship, folks. He's not even coming close. This is why I said in the beginning, I don't think that this is a one and done. I don't. I do think Cesaro's going to make himself a threat after Sunday night. And then I think Roman Reigns is going to take him a little bit more seriously. And then I think Roman Reigns is going to try and struggle between carrying the burden of the family and taking that into the Cesaro feud, where WWE then can paint the picture of Cesaro taking the title off of Roman, even though we know he won't. That's what's going to be. That's what needs to be. Because right now, there really isn't anything but Cesaro versus Roman Reigns in what will be a great wrestling match. That's all that it's going to be. Bianca Belair. Michael Cole was in the ring. She danced and she told Michael Cole that she is the BEST. Just like Off the Script is the BEST in the IWC. We all know that. Is Bianca the BEST? No. And neither has this title reign. And when you shine like I shine, you get a whole lot of hate. I mean, why are you mentioning that? Who exactly hates Bianca Belair? What I hate about Bianca Belair is the fact that she's deviated away so much from the Bianca Belair that we all fell in love with in NXT. There's such a fucking disconnect between the main roster and NXT. It is so blatantly obvious, man. It's fucking disgusting. This is not Bianca Belair. I don't know what you guys watched in NXT, but this is not Bianca Belair. This is not. She said people have been doubting her whole life, but she doesn't listen to doubters. This is not Bianca Belair. Who is writing this shit? People have doubted her entire career. No, Bianca Belair doesn't talk about doubters. Whoever's writing this shit needs to be fucking fired. Not once in her entire NXT run did Bianca Belair talk about doubters. That woman went out there and carried herself like a fucking champ. She knew she was the best. She didn't have to say anything. She didn't have to talk about haters or doubt. What is this shit? What is it? So fucking terrible. This is the shit that pisses me off. This is the shit that pisses me off. People have been doubting her whole life, but I don't listen to doubters. I don't want to hear about people doubting you. You go in there and you fucking do what you do. You're the EST for a reason. You got a nickname like the EST of WWE and you're talking about fucking doubters? Then they replayed Bayley attacking Belair last week. Bayley then all of a sudden showed up on the big screen and started cackling, laughing. Belair says she wants to show Bayley her braids up close. Where you at? She asked. Bayley said thanks to technology, she's far away via satellite. She said she doesn't want to be anywhere near her until Sunday when she takes back her SmackDown Women's title. Belair then said, girl, you are so funny. She said when she gets her hands on her, it'll be the roughest, the toughest, and the quickest victory yet. This is awful. I don't know. Listen, folks, I am a fucking IWC modern Nostradamus. Everything I said about Rhea Ripley for the last year has fucking come to fruition. I said this about Bianca even before the match with Sasha at WrestleMania. Now you're getting it. WWE doesn't know how to fuck anybody up. The disconnect between NXT and the main roster is something that needs to be addressed. It really does. I don't understand the need to take something that is perfectly booked in NXT and then change it and make it as if we never were a fan of these fucking people to begin with. I absolutely loathe Rhea Ripley. I cannot stand her presentation on the main roster. You talk to me before she won that championship against Shayna Baszler at the end of NXT a couple of years ago, it's a completely different JD. Now, they're doing the same thing with Bianca Belair. I wish Bianca would lose the fucking title to Bayley, and we get Sasha and Bayley for the fucking title again. How is this Bianca Belair gonna go into a feud with Sasha Banks and be this version of Bianca Belair? I don't get it. Bianca Belair in NXT would have went into the WrestleMania match fucking absolutely shitting on Bianca Belair that she's better. She would have backed it up, beat her, and proven herself right. Bianca Belair in NXT would have never addressed anybody doubting her. Now she's in this feud with Bayley, and she's saying it's going to be the roughest, the toughest, the quickest victory yet. It's great. It's great. I don't need to hear you say that. Just go and fucking do it. Your attitude is everything. Your body language, your perception, the energy that you emit is everything. The energy that I'm getting from Bianca Belair is not the energy of a champion. It's the energy of somebody that WWE is slowly cracking down, breaking down, and molding into everybody else on that main roster. Nobody is genuine. Nobody feels the way that they should. Everybody feels the same. Belair says she's going to have to hurt her feelings. Belair said Bayley is bad because she was busy getting thrown down the ramp by the Bellas at WrestleMania while she was in the main event. She held up the SmackDown title and said, "I won this at WrestleMania." Bayley said Belair is craving attention, and it's like watching her past. She said she can speak from experience that this fairy tale reign of hers doesn't end well, and she'll make sure it ends for good. I don't know why they are even feuding. What is the story? Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair barely, and I mean barely, had a story at WrestleMania. They built that fucking feud up with Reginald as the main antagonist. The tag team championships were a priority over the SmackDown Women's Championship. And when Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks had 2 weeks of WrestleMania to go, then that's when the SmackDown Women's Championship became a priority. And even then, the main event match, in a lot of people's eyes, wasn't really a main event match. The only reason why it was a main event match because Bianca Belair won the fucking Royal Rumble. If you were to poll 10 people, every single fucking one of them said, no. It's not a main event match. WWE made it a main event match. They wrestled like a fucking main event match, but did it feel like a main event match going into WrestleMania? The answer is no. The answer is no. How are you looking at this Bianca Belair? I want to ask everybody a genuine question in the chat. How are you looking at Bianca Belair? How are you looking at this Bianca Belair? And you are genuinely rooting for Bianca to beat Bayley. What is it about Bianca now that you're genuinely rooting for at Backlash? As far as I'm concerned, I hate everything about this fucking character, and I hate everything about her reign. I'm actually rooting for Bayley. I'm actually rooting for Bayley, not only because Bianca Belair is having a shitty fucking time after she won this championship. Her character and the way she's being portrayed is fucking awful. But I'm rooting for Bayley because she actually got thrown down the ramp by the Bellas. And Bianca Belair mentions that in her promo. Why would Bianca mention that of all things, when the majority of people watching WrestleMania all sympathized with Bayley. Because being thrown down the ramp by the Bellas is supposed to make me develop sympathy for Bianca Belair and root emphatically for Bianca Belair, right? Nothing makes sense. Nothing. WWE would be doing us a favor if they took the belt off Bianca just because everybody that said she wasn't ready at WrestleMania was right. Look at her now. Look at her now. Does she feel like a champion? No. Does she carry herself like a champion? No. Has she done anything championship-like in this reign? We are now 1 month removed from WrestleMania. Have we seen anything from Bianca that resembles champion? No. No. It's fucking shit. Complete garbage. You got WWE to fucking blame for Bianca Belair. I'm not disrespecting Bianca in any way. I love Bianca. I'm actually fucking upset that Bianca isn't Bianca anymore. Go back and watch NXT and Bianca carry herself in NXT and then watch Bianca tonight. Two completely different entities. Shinsuke Nakamura. He wrestled Baron Corbin tonight. 3 minutes. Baron Corbin wins. Don't know why this was even a fucking thing on tonight's show. Baron Corbin's talking a lot about his watch collection. Mentions a lot about his Rolexes. It's good for him. He's got a nice little Rolex connection. It's great. Get me a fucking watch. I see you got nice connections. Get me a fucking watch, will you? Anyway, Nakamura loses here. And Nakamura demanded to face Corbin, apparently, because Corbin pinned him in a 10-man tag last week. Oh, wow. Wow, Bruce. What a creative fucking concept, man. Wow, something on last week's show actually means something this week? Bruce? What a fucking clown. Corbin attempted a suplex. Nakamura countered with a knee. Corbin took over, hit Nakamura with a series of elbows. Nakamura recovered, rocked Corbin with a dropkick. Corbin fought back, attempted a ring around the Rosie, around the ring post clothesline. Nakamura avoided the clothesline, locked in an armbar. Corbin couldn't break free. He then leaned forward and rolled up Nakamura for the win. That was it. They pushed this match as a battle between King of Strong Style and the King of the Ring. WWE mentioned King of the Ring several times in this match. Baron Corbin won King of the Ring. Baron Corbin won King of the Ring last year, says Michael Cole. No, we didn't. There was no King of the Ring tournament last year or the year before. Baron Corbin's been King of the Ring for 3 fucking years now. There's no reason why he's still operating as King Corbin. Give me a break. WWE certainly teased that they may be bringing back King of the Ring this year. It's June. Or May, I should say. We're coming up on June. And this is the perfect opportunity to do so. Seriously. How do we bring back King of the Ring, folks? How do we bring back King of the Ring? There are a couple of ways to do it. First of all, the number one way that I would do it is bring it back on pay-per-view. Go back to the old school way. 8 men, 4 from SmackDown, 4 from Raw. That's it. You want to mix and match guys in the tournament? Whatever the case may be. Do it in one night, put it on pay-per-view, crown a king. Someone wrestles 3 times in one night, a la Bret the Hitman Hart in 1993. One of the best pay-per-views that WWE has ever produced from the Nutter Center in Dayton, Ohio. Love that King of the Ring. You could do it that way. The finals end up being a Raw versus SmackDown superstar, and the winner of the King of the Ring is king of their brand, and they are the number one contender for whichever championship that their brand has. Roman Reigns Universal Championship, that would be a SmackDown match. Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley, whoever wins the WWE Championship, because we know it's not going to be at Backlash, they will get a WWE title opportunity at SummerSlam. Simple. Okay? If WWE doesn't want to go the route of putting it back on pay-per-view, there are two ways you could do the King of the Ring tournament on Raw and on SmackDown. Number one, you do a field of 16. Okay? You got 8 from Raw, and you got 8 from SmackDown, and you pick everybody in the mid-card. You want to throw a top-level guy in there? Top-level guys should be involved, okay? You make 8 and 8. 8 from Raw and 8 from SmackDown, and you build your shows around the King of the Ring tournament, with the finals happening on a special edition of Raw or a special edition of SmackDown. It'll probably be SmackDown because that's the most viewed show of the both shows. 8 from Raw, 8 from SmackDown. Every Monday Night Raw should have meaning with those 8 guys being built in that tournament. You center every show around those 8 guys. Same thing for SmackDown. And you go at it hard. I don't want 3-minute matches. I don't want fucking quick finishes. I want 8 guys from each brand that are going to be strategically picked, and they are going to matter. They're going to be put over, and they're going to be given a level of importance. Simple. And then you do it like you did when Corbin won his tournament. That tournament that Corbin won yielded some of WWE's best matches that year. I remember a Ricochet Drew McIntyre match in that tournament that was fucking fantastic. If I'm not mistaken, Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, I believe, were in that tournament as well, and they both shined. Buddy Murphy was in that tournament. He shined. Baron Corbin had his best 4 matches in his life in that tournament. That's the way you do it. That's the way you build it. Now, what I would personally do if WWE wants to get creative and they don't want to move it to pay-per-view and they don't want to do the old school style wrestling the entire tournament in one night, what I would do is I would have a round-robin tournament very similar to the G1 Climax in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I would have Block A, 8 guys. Block B, 8 guys. Whether A or B be Raw or SmackDown, it doesn't matter. 8 from Raw, 8 from SmackDown. And you make every show for however long, a month and a half, you build every show around those 8 guys. They need to be guys that you want on TV. They need to be guys that you want to give opportunities to. An Ali, a Ricochet, a Buddy Murphy, guys like that. Angel Garza, Aleister Black. Throw a Matt Riddle in there. Give me a Keith Lee. Guys like that. 8 in Block A, 8 in Block B. And you mix and match every single week matches with those 8 guys revolving every week on Raw, every week on SmackDown. Not only does it give WWE the opportunity to easily book their shows, it gives opportunity to those 8 guys to get TV time. It gives WWE the creative stability to make sure, hey, this should be an easy show to book. We can do this match. We could do this match. We could do this match. Reverse it. Reverse it every week. It should be easy. The winner of Block A fights the winner of Block B on pay-per-view. The winner of the King of the Ring tournament gets a shot at SummerSlam for the Universal or WWE Championship. You've already made your shows feel important leading up to that final. Now you're giving the winner a SummerSlam championship match, which is easy booking for you. Why do I like that concept better than the other two? Yeah, first of all, I'd take the pay-per-view concept. That's the way I would do it. It should be a pay-per-view every single year. King of the Ring should happen every single year. No questions asked. Tournaments should be more of a thing on Monday night and Friday night. I don't know why. Vince McMahon apparently hates fucking tournaments. Don't know why anybody would hate tournaments. It's the easiest way to get somebody over. The round robin idea works because it puts a level of importance on wins. Something that WWE TV does not really embody. Wins. For the first time ever, wins in WWE would matter. If you lose, you're getting deducted points. If you lose, you're giving yourself a huge disadvantage of winning your block. There's no way you're gonna move on to the finals. If you want to move on to the finals, you gotta win. WWE should be doing that, making wins matter on TV, giving opportunities to those that don't have them, making Raw and SmackDown watchable television, building intrigue and excitement and importance around your shows. Do you realize what a tournament like this would bring Monday and Friday night? None of these shows have any importance whatsoever. It's not by appointment television. You make a tournament like this, people will be there by appointment every week to watch, to see who advances, to see who wins, to see who loses, to see who gets that opportunity at SummerSlam for a WWE or Universal Championship. It should be so easy. It should be so fun. You have the resources to do so. Why is there a lack of fun? Why is there a lack of care from upper management about the people that they employ on this roster? They got the deepest roster in the history of this company. Some of the most talented men exist on this roster and sitting catering every single week. How are you sitting there with this amount of talent and you do nothing with it? King of the Ring should be a thing. No questions asked. Absolutely no questions asked. Tournaments should be a thing. Wins and losses, getting people over with consistency, momentum, all these things are embodied in a tournament. It's one of the most consistent, simplest ways to book somebody and get them over. You could take somebody that's been out for a year and put him in a tournament and make him an underdog, and people see him win match after match after match after match in highly competitive matches, 10, 15 minutes every fucking week. That guy's going to erase 12 months of being irrelevant. Believe me. Believe me. Look at Keith Lee. If Keith Lee has been off all this time and he comes back and he beasts in a tournament, are you going to remember that he was out for about 6-7 months? Or are you going to remember that he won match after match after match after match, is sitting at the top of his block, goes on to the finals, and wins the King of the Ring tournament, gets a championship match at SummerSlam? Are you going to care that he was out for 6 months? No, you're going to look at a renewed, revitalized, fresh Keith Lee that is now over in front of the audience because he won wrestling matches. He was booked consistently to not look like a fucking loser. 50-50 booking, losing by DQ, losing by countout, losing this, sitting out for 6 months, coming back with no fucking presence about him. Believe me, I am more right on this than you may be thinking right now. Believe me. You don't fuck with me and tournaments. I love a good tournament. I love fantasy booking a good tournament. It needs to happen. It absolutely needs to happen. Apollo Crews. First of all, by the way, before I even get into Apollo Crews, Shinsuke Nakamura, Corbin threw him out of the ring. Then he put his crown back on. Nakamura entered the ring after he lost, kicked Corbin in the head, gave him a Kinshasa. Cole said Nakamura was obviously frustrated by his loss. They played Nakamura's music. And then he put Corbin's crown on his head, which solidified maybe they're thinking about giving us a King of the Ring. So we will see what happens there. I don't know why Nakamura lost this match to Corbin only to do that at the end. Don't know why he couldn't win and then do that. I don't know. Crews was backstage. He complained to Adam Pearce, Sonya Deville, about being interrupted during his segment. Sonya suggested he take it out on all of them. Pearce says he liked the idea and he will defend against Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Big E. Not at Backlash, but he will defend against all three of these guys next week on SmackDown. Because the pay-per-view doesn't need any new matches, I guess, right? Like I said before, there's too many multi-person matches at Backlash. They didn't want to add another one. Don't undermine me in front of superstars, She essentially rolled her eyes at him and turned and left. That's what Adam Pearce said to Sonya Deville. We got a new Aleister Black vignette. A man is born worthless and discovered his value, he said. He said it can only be trial by fire. He said it could either cleanse or consume you. He said the lesson is you have to stand up and fight through it. He said he could teach that lesson, but he can't teach because everyone listening, you are not participants. Aleister Black was not on TV last week. People complained. They could not fit him into the show. And he's on the show this week, and he cut another really good vignette. I like the caricatures and the comic book style that they do with Aleister Black. Don't know where it's going, but I'm glad he's on TV. I'm glad they got some sort of vision for him. But there was a report today coming out of one of the dirt sheets, and this is from WrestleVotes. WrestleVotes actually tweeted out that WWE has realized, now they realized, that Monday Night Raw needs to be freshened up. It's about time, honestly. I doubt it happens, but it needs something to freshen up. And they've got two specific names in mind that could change things. The first of these ideas is a big opportunity for Damian Priest. Priest has nearly a perfect record. He lost to The Miz, who was stripped down to his fucking underwear on Monday Night Raw. That's his only blemish on his record. He's got that one loss since he moved to the main roster. He was at WrestleMania with Bad Bunny, and he faces The Miz in a lumberjack match this Sunday at WrestleMania Backlash. The other idea noted in this report by WrestleVotes is that WWE has considered moving Aleister Black from SmackDown over to Raw. Black recently reappeared on TV via vignettes a couple of weeks ago after being completely missing since the end of October, where Dana Brooke and Titus O'Neil were drafted ahead of him in the WWE draft last year. Now, what could complicate things is that it's also been reported that WWE has considered putting Black in an act with his real life wife, Zelina Vega, now that she is reportedly returning. So there are a few variables at play. First of all, Black fits better on SmackDown. I think that is the same for everybody. Everybody fits better on SmackDown. Monday Night Raw is a cesspool. Monday Night Raw is a show where careers die. You get placed on Monday Night Raw, your career is dead. You get placed on Monday Night Raw, what was special about you before you went to Raw is no longer special anymore. Whatever you are less than on Monday Night Raw. So for the sake of your career, pray to God that you do not end up on Monday night. That show eats you up, swallows you whole, and you are never the same again. Seriously. Aleister Black moving over to Monday Night Raw doesn't do a fucking thing. It doesn't. Does it freshen up Monday Night Raw? No, it doesn't. It freshens up Monday Night Raw for 2 minutes that we see him on a vignette. Other than that, it's the same fucking show. Pairing him with Zelina Vega, it doesn't freshen up Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw needs a new commentary team. Monday Night Raw needs a new theme song. Monday Night Raw needs new graphics. Monday Night Raw needs to be less polished. Monday Night Raw needs to be 2 hours. Monday Night Raw needs a new WWE title scene. WWE needs a tag team division. WWE needs a women's division on Raw. I could name 1,000 other fucking things that Monday Night Raw needs to freshen itself up. Not Aleister Black. Aleister Black will do nothing. Aleister Black should remain on SmackDown. He was drafted there. Use him. Pair him with Zelina Vega. That is the best idea for her supposed return. Being that Andrade is not there, watch these fucking geeks pair her back with Angel Garza. Pair her with Aleister Black. Simple. Everybody is not an idiot. Everybody knows that they are married. So do what everybody knows. She will help get him over. That's what you need to do here. Her presence is unmatched. She's great on the microphone. Pair her with Black. Simple. But JD, how do we freshen up Monday Night Raw? How do we freshen up Monday Night Raw? How do we freshen up Monday Night Raw? Simple. Start at Backlash. Bobby Lashley loses the WWE Championship. He loses it to Drew McIntyre. Why is Drew McIntyre winning the WWE title? Bobby Lashley should still be champion. There's a reason why they added Braun Strowman to that match. If you think Braun Strowman was added to make it unpredictable, if you thought Braun Strowman was added to win the WWE Championship, you may be as dumb as a box of fucking rocks. Braun Strowman was there to eat the pin. Drew McIntyre is winning the WWE title. I would be shocked if he doesn't. A lot of people were telling me, well, if he was to win the WWE Championship, he would have done it at WrestleMania. No. You're actually doing Bobby Lashley a disservice then. He just won the title going into WrestleMania so that you could get a WWE title match at WrestleMania. That means something. Miz going into WrestleMania as champion was not going to give you a WrestleMania feel. He was not going to give Drew McIntyre a WrestleMania match. Bobby Lashley did, somewhat. Yeah, it could have happened then, but it would have been not fair to Bobby Lashley. So they let him hold the championship for another month. Now he loses it. Now, I doubt this happens. What I'm about to tell you, I doubt happens, because we are definitely getting Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal, the modern day Maharaja, is back. That's your number one contender, folks. If you think WWE is not already thinking Mahal for the WWE title, again, you may be dumber than a box of light bulbs. That's what's going to happen. Called it. Called it months ago. Called it during Royal Rumble season. I would not be shocked if that happens. I was actually predicting that for a WrestleMania main event. Mahal versus McIntyre. Now we're getting it at SummerSlam. Maybe a little late, 9 months late, but we're getting it. Drew McIntyre wins the WWE Championship at Backlash. Call up Adam Cole. I mentioned this already. Call up Adam Cole. Call up Finn Balor. Put Finn Balor on Monday night. I originally said, why don't you do Finn Balor on SmackDown? You could do that as well. You could do that as well. But this may actually be a little bit better. Call up Adam Cole. Call up Finn Balor. Get AJ Styles out of that fucking tag team with Omos. Bring Edge from SmackDown over to Raw. He was a Monday Night Raw superstar before he won the Royal Rumble and challenged Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the Universal Championship. Get Edge over to SmackDown, or from SmackDown over to Raw. Imagine your top Monday Night Raw programs revolving around Drew McIntyre, Adam Cole, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and Edge over the WWE Championship. Imagine Adam Cole beating Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. Imagine you call up Adam Cole and Finn Balor from NXT. Place them on Monday Night Raw. Have Adam Cole win Money in the Bank. Have him cash in on Drew McIntyre. They got a little history. Imagine Adam Cole cashing in Money in the Bank with Drew McIntyre as a WWE champion. Adam Cole wins the WWE Championship, baby. Imagine you have Adam Cole versus Drew McIntyre, Adam Cole versus Finn Balor, Adam Cole versus AJ Styles. Imagine Adam Cole, Finn Balor, and AJ Styles being in your top program for the WWE Championship. Sounds familiar to me, doesn't it? You want Monday Night Raw to be fresh? You want Monday Night Raw to be cool? You got three of the best pro wrestlers on the fucking planet. Then you got Edge involved. Imagine Adam Cole versus Edge. Adam Cole versus Finn Balor. Adam Cole versus AJ Styles. Adam Cole versus anybody. Edge versus Finn Balor. Edge versus AJ Styles. Edge versus McIntyre. Sounds like Monday Night Raw has changed. Sounds like Monday Night Raw needs Adam Cole, Finn Balor, Edge, AJ Styles. That should be the top of the fucking card. That should be the top of the fucking card. Aleister Black is not going to be it. Oh, but Adam Cole's a vanilla midget. Adam Cole is going to get buried. Vince will never look at him like a main event guy. You better. You better start looking at him like a main event guy because that's exactly what he is. Thank God you fucking people weren't around on social media when Shawn Michaels got pulled from the Rockers and was made into a singles guy. How many people were calling for Shawn Michaels to be a WWE champion when he just got pulled out of a Rockers tag team with Marty Jannetty? What happened when he proved everybody wrong? Why is it so much different with Adam Cole? Shawn Michaels even said himself, Adam Cole, he is like looking into a fucking mirror. The way he embodies Shawn Michaels. So if Shawn Michaels is a Hall of Famer, then why wouldn't Vince McMahon listen to Shawn Michaels in regards to Adam Cole? Monday Night Raw needs new blood. It needs youth. It needs future. Throw Ricochet in there. That's another one, Keith Lee. Bro, listen, if you take all the names that I got right now, and then you add a Keith Lee, a Ricochet, you want to throw in an Ali, you throw in a Kofi Kingston, Monday Night Raw could be the best fucking show. Monday Night Raw, these are words that I'm physically telling you right now. If Monday Night Raw had all those guys on the show and you booked that show the way it needs to be booked, Monday Night Raw could be the best show on television. But will it? No, it won't. No, it won't. You're going to get Jinder Mahal versus Drew McIntyre, and the ratings are going to plummet. Jinder Mahal is your next WWE champion. That is what WWE thinks of when they think of, hey man, how do we freshen up Monday Night Raw? Jinder Mahal! Awful. Jimmy Uso versus Cesaro. Cesaro wins via DQ. Not much happened here. Jimmy looked good for being away for over a year. So Cesaro caught Uso with a drop kick. Got an early advantage. Uso was playing possum. Cesaro missed a charge in the corner. Uso sent Cesaro to the floor with a clothesline. Followed up with a suicide dive. Cesaro hit a discus clothesline for a near fall. Uso avoided a neutralizer. Caught Cesaro with a super kick. Uso climbed to the top rope. But Cesaro cut him off with an uppercut. Followed up with a superplex. Got another near fall. Cesaro hit a cannonball off the apron. Rocked Jimmy with a series of uppercuts. Threw him back in the ring. Suddenly, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso attacked Cesaro. Beat him down for a DQ. After the match, Jimmy was yelling at Reigns. I had him, Uso. I had him. I was about to win. He yelled that Roman Reigns makes everything about himself. Jimmy walked off. Reigns chased after him. Jimmy and Reigns argued at ringside. Cesaro came from behind and attacked Jey, who was in the ring. Reigns ran back in the ring to save Jey, but Cesaro fought him off as well. Cesaro beat down Jey and Jimmy as Roman escaped. And Cesaro taunted Reigns by hitting a neutralizer on Jey twice as the show went off the air. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, man. I said my piece about Roman and Jey and Jimmy and Cesaro earlier in the show. Backlash is this Sunday. I'll be live on YouTube, as always, with the live stream for Backlash. And I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's SmackDown coverage of the post show right here on Off the Script, man. We got almost 1,500 inside the venue. I appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up, guys. 613 likes right now. Let's try for the goal of 750. That is the goal. Super chats are open. If you guys want to get them on in, get them on in. We'll hang out. Follow me on social media, JDfromNY206, at Twitter, or on Twitter, I should say. Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button as well and turn on the bell for all notifications. And go check out today's sponsor, man, Dr. Squatch. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout to save 20% off. Start off with the number one super chat here that we got tonight, man, from Deshaun Turner with a $4.99 super chat. Sorry I haven't been around the past live streams. I was getting over my symptoms of the second shot. Where's my Guinness, Jesse? You goon. I'm thirsty. Jesse. Usually you're over there. You're over there now. What are you doing? Get this man a fucking drink. He's getting over his COVID vaccine, bro. Go get him a drink. Unreal. Thank you, Deshaun. I appreciate you, bro. Lee Laws with a $5 super chat. Hey, what's up, JD? I'm at work tonight doing a double shift, but I wanted to support the channel and ask what you're drinking tonight, sir. What I'm always drinking tonight, man. Liquid Death, sparkling water from the Alps. Straight from the Alps. This is awesome. Liquid Death is my favorite seltzer, man. My favorite seltzer. The reason why it's my favorite seltzer is because it's carbonated like beer. There's no alcohol in it. It's just carbonated water. But carbonation, man, some carbonation in the seltzers you buy in the store like ShopRite or Bubbly or Aha, they're very carbonated, man. It's like soda carbonated. A lot of bubbles. This one is smooth. AJ Watson with a $5 super chat. What is your favorite WWE intro? Mine's is SmackDown 2005 Rise Up. And that cool vibe to SmackDown. Way better than the garbage WWE music that we have now. My favorite WWE intro was Warzone. Raw is War. Anthrax. That's my favorite. If I had to choose another one, listen, man, I'm a sucker for Papa Roach. They're one of my guilty pleasures. I liked Papa Roach as the Monday Night Raw theme song, man. I thought that fit very well. Thank you, Lee Laws and AJ Watson, for the $5 super chats, man. Gavin Deeth with a $10 Australian super chat to the idiotic geeks and goons of the IWC, saying, "Oh my God, it's the Friday Night Wars because of AEW being moved to Friday." They're being moved to Friday because of the NBA playoffs. And it's not the Friday Night Wars. I don't know what I'm going to do those weeks, but we may be without the AEW review for a little bit. He also says, rest in peace, New Jack. Rest in peace to Jerome White. New Jack passed away, if you guys missed the news, 58 years old from an apparent heart attack. Found in his home, I believe, in North Carolina. Shinedown was a good one too, man. Shinedown Enemies was a good song for Monday Night Raw. Kenley Pierre with a $4.99 super chat. What is your favorite Raw intro? Mine is the 2002 to 2006 Across the Nation and Papa Roach. This was just X before. You and AJ Watson were on the same wavelength, I guess. Anthrax, War Zone, or Raw is War. Michael Menzies with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, thank you and Hoot Media for the koozie. Now I'll be ready to always have a cold beverage on deck inside the venue. Cheers. Enjoy that koozie, brother. Everybody that got a koozie, man, it should be in the mail. If you don't have it yet, let me know. Rick O'Shea with a $4.99 super chat. This is heartbreaking. R.I.P. New Jack. I'll need to give the Life and Crimes another watch. New Jack was, like I said, man, the heart and soul of ECW. He put the E in ECW, no question. Thank you, Rick O'Shea, for the $4.99. Frisky Dingo with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, I live in Jacksonville, and we'll see you later this month at the meet and greet. Round 1 is on me. I'm looking forward to it, Dingo. I will be in Jacksonville with Jesse and Hoot Media. Double or Nothing weekend. We'll be at the Fan Fest on Saturday. And then we'll be at the meet and greet, the OTS meet and greet at the Intuition Ale Works. It's like a 5-minute walk from Daly's place. If you guys are going to be in town, you know where to be, man. I'll be there early because I like to drink. We may or may not be going to Double or Nothing, so we'll see what happens. But I will be there, man. Roughly around 1 to 5, 1 to 4, something like that. Just come on by. Deshaun Turner with another $1.99 super chat. Hey, JD, did you send the koozie yet? I didn't get it. Deshaun, it should be in the mail. Hoot Media mailed all 50 koozies. I trust Hoot Media with my life. Hoot Media knows what they're doing, okay? Drew Burke Halter in the chat says, JD sucks massively. That's the reason why you're here, I guess, huh? I suck so badly that you opted to click on the video, put in the chat, JD sucks massively, while typing away on your keyboard, bro. How many Dorito chips are in that keyboard, man? How many Dorito chips and crumbs are in that keyboard? I'm sitting here, #1 show in the IWC as always. People hanging out with me. This is my full-time gig. Meanwhile, you'll be going to bed tonight, box of tissues next to you, crying yourself to sleep, or jerking off to some fucking Alexa Bliss poster, one or the other, crying yourself to sleep because you can't get a good gig yourself. And your life sucks so badly that you'll be walking to work. You work at a Dunkin' Donuts, I hear. You work with Habib at Dunkin' Donuts. You can't even brew the fucking coffee correctly, bro. I asked for 3 creams, not 6 in my coffee, clown. Get it right. And stop burning my fucking sausage, egg, and cheese on my bagel, bitch. Thank you, Deshaun. Ali with a $4.99 super chat. Hey, JD, you should definitely get a Roman Reigns shirt that says head of the table or the one that says acknowledge me. I will definitely get one soon. It's a good idea, Ali. When you get yourself one, buy me one and mail it to me. Giuseppe Morello with a $4.99 super chat. Hey, JD. Tanto Amore. Mio N. Open challenge to Titus Catering. The Mook. I cook a mean risotto. Porcini. My nana's recipe is from the homeland. Anybody that is named Giuseppe better be cooking a good risotto, bro. Thank you, man. Shout out to White Bat Audio, man. Shout out to Carl Casey, man. The guy is a fucking genius. Guy is so awesome, man. These nuts. My dog just died today. These nuts. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I love animals more than I do people, more than I do humans. Honestly. I love animals more than I do Burkhalter, Drew Burkhalter, the Dunkin' Donuts guy that keeps fucking up my order as he works next to Habib at Dunkin' Donuts. Ricochet with a $4.99 super chat. I find myself waking up in cold sweats at night. Another Baszler Jax match nightmare and needing a scotch to go back to sleep. Not healthy for Roos. Susan D'Ambrosio in the chat. 1 koozie per person. There was only 50 to go around. There were other people as well that donated 2 or 3 times for koozies, the amount, but they only got sent one. Furious Nation, $5 super chat. What's up, JD? What are your thoughts if the Mysterios vs. Usos leads to an eventual SmackDown Universal title program between Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio? I'll be for that. I'll be for that. I think that has potential, for sure. Jaden Vlogs with a $9.99 super chat. First things first, bro. Ricochet, Ali Murphy, Dijakovic, Lee, Theo needs to go to SmackDown. Needs to be out with Paul and let him handle him because Bruce and Vince ain't doing jack. Bro, Bruce and Vince are not moving any of those guys anywhere, especially to be put with Paul Heyman, man. Paul Heyman's got Roman Reigns to worry about. That's it. Paul Heyman's job is to get Roman Reigns over. Preston Macy. Thank you for stopping by in the chat, bro. Your dad's an embarrassment. I heard he beat you as a child. I heard your mother's got a black eye because your father's an abuser. I'm sorry your childhood was so piss poor, bro, that you got to show up in a live stream on Friday night on YouTube to tell me how much I suck at what I do. If I suck so bad, why are you watching me and not somebody else? I must not be that terrible. Oh, that's right. I'm fucking great at what I do. I'm amazing at what I do. Mr. Cake with a $5 super chat. I think we're probably going to get a situation where Team I'm Your Poppy works with Cesaro to beat Roman and the Usos around SummerSlam. Team I'm Your Poppy works with Cesaro to beat Roman and the Usos at SummerSlam. No. No. Brass Man, $4.99 super chat. Hey, brother, at JD, can it be whoever in the top 8 wrestlers wins the King of the Ring will face Corbin to win it all, or no? No. Baron Corbin will be one of the top wrestlers in the tournament. He gets placed in the tournament to defend his crown. If he wins the tournament, he repeats as King of the Ring. If he loses, he's no longer King Corbin. He's Baron Corbin. Mr. Cake with a $10 super chat. Something I've noticed lately is lack of momentum on any show. Raw is down, NXT is down, AEW is down, SmackDown is down, no compelling challenges. Even Rhea, Bianca, and Raquel need to be reheated. Some of these shows, I think they've coasted by so long because they're just waiting for fans to get back in attendance. Like AEW, I think they're holding off on some big shit because they're waiting for people to get back in attendance away from Daily's Place. As far as Raw and SmackDown, these are the shows that you would normally see in front of fans. They have no creativity whatsoever. NXT, I don't know what the fuck their problem is, man. Something internally is not right in NXT. Something's fucked up. Something is fucked up. He also says, hey, JD, I got my OTS koozie. Thanks to you and Hoot Media. Enjoy it, Mr. K. Keep those beverages cold. He also says, Mr. Cake with another $2 super chat. Black should show that promo to the catering crew. Hologram with a $5 super chat. WWE as a whole needs to be freshened up like a hooker on Dollar Day. Can this lowly mod play some Destiny with yo ass when my PS5 arrives? OTS for life. Yes, I still want to get a OTS raid team together so that I don't have to rely on my guys Vault of Glass is coming on Saturday next week. We will be streaming it on Twitch. It's going to be awesome. Furious Nation with a $10 super chat. Aleister Black, in my opinion, is better for SmackDown. Anything Raw touches turns to a dumpster fire. He ain't going anywhere, in my opinion. And should Aleister bring back his old CFO Money theme song? Yes, but that won't happen. And yes, he should stay on SmackDown. Jonathan Costello with a $4.99 super chat. Got my koozie today and I love it. Brought it to the venue to share a drink with you. Now, Jesse, bring the OTS Tribal Chief and me 2 Guinness. Jonathan Costello, enjoy that, brother. Guinness anytime, cold. Is my type of night, man. Presuming _Ed with a $10 UK. What's up, JD? I'm in the UK. It's 5 a.m. and I'm trashed. Happy Saturday to you, man. Thought I'd pop in and say, you're a legend. Side note, have you heard Andy James in The Fading Light? Insane guitarist, check him out. Bro, I love Andy James. Andy James is a fucking savage, bro. I love him. Such a great fucking guitar player, man. His new album is great. Thank you, Presuming. Get sober, bro. Rest up. Jonathan Costello with another $1.99 super chat. He says, OTS Tribal Chief. You know it, man. Ruben with a $3.99 super chat. What do you think is the prestige of the IC title? Not much. Apollo won it. I was happy for Apollo, but I think he loses it next week. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. SmackDown's Rise Up theme song will always be iconic. To Be Loved by Papa Roach was a very good theme song as well for Raw. Francisco Coronado with a $5 super chat. I would love to see Adam Cole versus Seth Rollins as the finals of the King of the Ring. Just let them go. Can I get a would? Hey, Kevin Dunn. Thanks, JD. Thank you, Francisco. The Forerunners with a $19.99 super chat. I was watching Blood and Guts again when MJF was walking to the ring. How he shoved that fan or whoever it was, he had me cracking up. Hashtag certified goon. Yeah, that's MJF, bro. He does that with actual normal fans in attendance. He'd take their beer and dump it. Take their poster and rip it. It's great. It's great, man. Mr. Cake with a $20 super chat. I've always seen it like Raw being a V8, SmackDown being a V6. What I do is move Cross and Finn to Raw and build Raw around them, Drew, Bobby, and Raw would be hard-hitting with matches, while SmackDown is built around Cole, Gable, Gulak, Ali. Now that's what Monday Night Raw is. Build the youngsters on Raw. Put all the main event guys on SmackDown. That's just the level of WWE nowadays. SmackDown's the A show. Monday Night Raw is not the A show anymore. Kratos with a $10 super chat. Booked a 3-month, 64-man King of the Ring final on Total Extreme Wrestling with Black vs. Lee, and now I'm booking Lee vs. Reigns for the Universal Championship. You have fun with that, Kratos. 64 men in a King of the Ring is a little too much, bro. 16 max. Fallen Exposure with a $5 super chat. Rest in peace, New Jack. His Dark Side of the Ring was wild. Do you still talk to Kevin Scampoli? No. Who's the next generic babyface to step to Roman? Thanks to you. I never talked to Kevin Scampoli. Who cares? He's doing his thing, I'm doing mine. I mean, is he even still doing his thing? Who the fuck gives a shit? Who's the next generic babyface to step to Roman? It could be Finn Balor. I made a case for Finn Balor, man. After he loses to Cross in 2 weeks, there's nothing for him to do on NXT. Call him up. Roman versus Balor at SummerSlam. The Forerunners with a $4.99 super chat. Hashtag Habib. Laughing my ass off. You're awesome, brother. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Forerunners. Kevin Dunn's Feet OnlyFans official account with a $5 super chat. He. Mr. JD, would you consider doing a best of super chats 2021? I can do the camera cuts for it. It would be epic, my friend. Listen, bro, I'm sure somebody's already on that. Yet you miss me in the chat, says JD, go to bed. You're lame as fuck. Don't worry. I'll be slipping into bed with your fucking mother in about 20 minutes. She wanted to go to the Italian market for some nice sausage. I told her, honey, listen, you don't need to go there. I got the homemade sausage right here, okay? Then I'll wake up, she'll cook me breakfast and serve me breakfast in bed, and then I'll give your girlfriend a call. Hey, honey, listen, this asshole's mother loved the Italian sausage. I got that cannoli filling for you. How about that? You ready for dessert? The fuck out of my chat. Sandeep Singh. Mr. D. I know Habib's. He's a good guy. Very excited to my hero, Jinder Mahal, to win WWE title. Want to see Sanjay Dutt. Yo, Sandeep, take your $5, man, and go away. Very excited for my hero, the modern day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. JD23 with a $4.99 super chat. Crazy how easily you come up with solutions for all within a few minutes. Yet WWE keeps producing the same garbage every week like they are clueless. Because I care. JD23, I care, bro. The majority of that roster I love. I love Adam Cole. If I was to choose a number one prospect, if I was to build a fucking company around a guy and add a number one pick, Adam Cole's my number one pick, bro. Hooligan with a $5 super chat. Thanks to you and the OTS family, I have amused a nice Carl Casey, or amassed rather, not amused, amassed a nice Carl Casey playlist. Also, I've been sleeping in the walk-in because I'm never leaving the venue. The venue's quite cozy, bro. Listen, it's gonna be summer soon enough, man. We got central air, the fucking best of the best. It's gonna be like a fucking icebox in here, bro. Indigo with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, another awesome week of content. These idiots don't understand that Adam Cole has it. Looking forward to OTS tomorrow. Rest in peace, New Jack. Thank you, Indigo. Raging Girl Gamer with a $4.99 super chat. You said you want to get an OTS raid team together. Count me in. I'm mostly free on weekends. Rage, listen, Rage, what is your light level? If you are Jesse-like light level, I'm gonna have to dump you. I'm sorry. Gonna have to dump you, bro. Edgar Estrada with a $50 super chat, man. Yo, happy Friday, OTS fan. Great review and rants, bro. Happy birthday to the great Patrick Palmer. After he gets drunk at the bar, I'm tossing him out of the venue. LOL. Cheers, Patrick. Please keep Mama Grimm in your prayers. Koozie, love it. Thanks, JD and Hoot Media. Happy birthday, Patrick Palmer. Get wasted. Take it easy, though. Thank you, Edgar. Always appreciate you, man. Kratos with a $2 super chat. My inferior Xbox team is ready. See you Saturday. I'll see you on Twitch, brother. I gotta get that new Hunter exotic, by the way. A leg piece. Apparently it increases damage on all your Hunter supers. Theo with a $4.99 super chat. What's your favorite SummerSlam match of all time? Damn, that's a tough one, bro. I have to get back to you on that one, man. There's too many to go through. I can name some off the top of my head. Punk Lesnar, Rock Lesnar, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, unsanctioned. Brett, perfect. Trying to think. Brett Owen, Steel Cage. Brett, Jerry the King Lawler. That was the match where Brett wrestled Doink first and then Jerry the King Lawler. So many, man. John Cena versus Daniel Bryan is another one. Underrated match, man. Great match. Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton, I believe. Or was that... what was that afterwards? He cashed in. Who did Daniel Bryan wrestle that year? Was it Cena? I don't know. I forgot. When Orton cashed in the Money in the Bank and Triple H fucked him over. Michael Raymond with a $5 super chat. Would putting Riddle on a caffeine-addled singles tear that puts him on a collision course with Roman, a barefoot versus title match work? No. Brett Taker. How could I forget that? Jericho 8131. Yes, Brett Taker. Brett Undertaker, 1997, New Jersey, with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee. Greatest WWF title ending match to a title match ever. Riddle versus Roman, no. Otis Ent with a $5 super chat. What's up, JD? Big O here. Just wanted to show some love to my extended family. Hey, Jesse, where's my PB whiskey clown? Love you all. Hashtag OTS for life. Hashtag TBB. Thank you, Big O. Otis, the Big O. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. In your opinion, which Jeff Hardy matches did you enjoy the most? The matches with Triple H, Umaga, or Randy Orton? Probably say, I'm going to say Umaga. Hula Grim with a $10 super chat. I just wanted to thank Edgar, Susan, Kratos, and everyone asking about my mom. I love how this community has each other's backs here, unlike those other guys. Love you all. Hope she's doing well, brother. TBB, the bench business. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. Mahal vs. McIntyre is unfortunately inevitable. God help us all. By the way, rest in peace, New Jack. Thoughts and prayers are with him, his friends, and his family. Yeah, unfortunately, it is inevitable. Raging Girl Gamer with a $4.99 super chat. She says, I'm Jesse light level at the moment, JD. LOL. Also, is your Italian sausage mild or spicy? It's mild. It's mild. I don't like spicy sausage. Sweet. Sweet and mild. Coiled Phoenix with a $5 super chat. Sorry I missed the review tonight, but I'm definitely going to rewatch it when I get home from work. Much love to you as always in the OTS family. Coiled Phoenix, thank you so much for still stopping by, even though you couldn't be here live. Kratos with a $5 super chat. I read on a Destiny app called Little Light that wyverns will be in the Vault of Glass. That's all the warning you'll be getting. I hate them fucking things, man. They're the worst vexed enemy. $2 super chat by Mr. Cake. JD, Jesse is shouting at the customers again. Jesse's a fucking animal. I'm going to take care of him in Jacksonville. And Rick O'Shea with a $1.99 super chat. What about Otis versus Roman for the lunchbox? Otis is lucky he has a fucking job at this point. Seriously. We are about to get out of here, guys. I appreciate you all. What a live stream tonight, man. We are 40 away from 750. Can we get to 750 before we get out of here, man? Before I get in the Mustang, can we get 750 likes? Let me know down below in the comment section. Or in the chat right now if you're here live. What was your favorite part of the show tonight? Content week is just getting started, man. We got Off the Script tomorrow. I'll be sitting down tomorrow morning recording the podcast with a nice cup of coffee. It should be up by 5 p.m. Then Sunday, we will be on Twitch doing something beforehand, I think. Maybe. But Backlash, maybe not. Man, I think I'm gonna take Sunday off. I think I'm gonna take Sunday off, man. We'll do Backlash on Sunday night, live on YouTube. Right here on Off the Script. Chakra Rasta with a $5 super chat. When you go to Double or Nothing, are you doing a meet and greet? Been watching you for like 5 years. Been watching wrestling for like 24. Yes, I will. Chakra. I will be in Jacksonville, Double or Nothing weekend at the Fan Fest. Saturday and then Sunday, I'm having an OTS meet and greet at the Intuition Ale Works from 1 to 4 p.m. I'll be there at 1. But make sure you guys show up. They will have food. Backlash on Sunday. Off the Script tomorrow. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JDfromNY206. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go check out Dr. Squatch, man. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off. Stop smelling like a goddamn sweaty wrestling mark. Smell your best. Look your best. You already listened to the best in OTS. Go get yourself Dr. Squatch. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout. For me, I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you to everybody that super chatted. Thank you to everybody that showed up, hung out. What I need from you guys is 2 things. Number 1. 3 things, actually. 1, go listen to Miles Kennedy's new album, Ides of March. Excellent. Number 2, give me those guitar emojis in the chat. Number 3, that music you're listening to, on max. I'm getting in the Mustang. Windows are down. I'm hitting the highway. I'll see you guys tomorrow for OTS and then Sunday for Backlash. I'll see you guys later.